Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, I made a mistake. I want you back. Well, I've got two different emails I'm going to go through with you. One of them is the first one's from a guy who's been following my work for, I guess, about 4 or 5 months now, and he kind of details the success and how things have kind of turned around in his dating and his relationship life, and also with an ex who, I guess, was the original reason why he found out about me in the first place. And the second one is from a lesbian woman who shares how much she's learned from my work and how much it has helped her. And it reminds me of a lesbian joke. One of the first lesbian jokes I heard, and I don't know why I remember, this was from an electrician. I was working on a job in Lauderdale by the Sea. This was like 90, it's probably 1993, 94, and we were sitting in a meeting. This guy had a new fucking joke every day. He's a big fat guy, little short fat dude, and he goes, "What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I lick a lot of pussy." He went, and he just kept laughing. He had his big old belly, and his face turned all red. He thought it was the funniest joke he'd ever told in his life. I don't know why I remembered that one, but there you have it. So I got a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then we're going to jump right into both these email and hear the awesome progress this guy and this lovely lesbian has made. So the quote says, "If you want an ex-lover back who dumped you due to mistakes you made that turned them off, the best way to reattract them is to walk and never look back. Never call or contact them again. Move on with your life as if they are part of your past and you will never see or speak to them again. Start dating again and resolve to find someone better no matter how much you don't feel like doing it. If they start contacting you again, don't focus on a relationship or getting back together. Do not agree to be friends in any way, shape, or form. Be clear and direct that you are only interested in them romantically, not platonically. Invite them to come to you to have dinner at your place, or you are not interested for the first 2 to 3 dates. Treat them like first dates. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. They dumped you. Therefore, it must be their idea to rekindle things. Wait for them to bring up getting back together or being exclusive again. Let them do 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. Make dates when they reach out. No unnecessary chit-chat. They blew you off like you were nothing. Therefore, they must treat you like you are important and necessary to their lives. They must earn you back." This is really super important. About half the people, men and women, that come to my website are trying to get an ex back. So this is probably one of the most common things that I deal with. And so this first guy has done a pretty good job of turning things around. He says, "Hey, Coach, I have only you to thank for this, and I could not have done it without you and the other 97%ers who have made mistakes that I didn't have to." He says, "Number 1, before Corey, I made all the needy little bitch mistakes. I dated a girl who previously dated a guy I knew, but we weren't close friends. They were together for 2 to 3 years and had a kid together. I even asked him if I could start talking to her, which he said yes, but he laughed about it as if it was a joke." He's thinking, "You fucking poor bastard. Sure, yeah, go out with her. You have no fucking idea what you're in for." He says, "After that, she was all over me like white on rice. I could just see in her smile that I made her happier than anyone else ever did, and I can't explain it, but I could just feel that no other guy made her feel the way I did in the moment. At least no other guy that you knew of. You were a legend in your own mind, bro." He says, "I then became a dumbass little girl who called her all the time, texted her all the time. I smothered her so much. She broke up with me on Valentine's Day." Oh, that was nice of her. It's like stick the knife in my back and just keep twisting it. Valentine's Day? Ouch. "I could just not believe that her feelings changed like that so quickly." He says, "I know girls' feelings change day to day sometimes, but I didn't know it then. She got back with her ex, and then she said she wanted her family back." He says, "Repetitive beating myself in the head with a rock. I was so fucked up in the head, I didn't know what I did wrong at the time, and that's when I found your work, and I started watching your videos when I was searching for relationship advice. I liked them so much that I continue to watch your videos every day, absorbing everything like a sponge." So he says, "Number 2, during Corey, now this ex of mine is also a friend of my sister's, and I started to notice she was coming around every Tuesday. I was just kind of ignoring her, saying hi, and then leaving the house and doing my own shit. I even went on a date with another ex of mine, which was just a rebound thing, and that's just one date. He says, after that, she started bringing her boyfriend to my house. Oh, that's loads of fun. Which really pissed me off, but I kept my cool, did my own thing, and just ignored her. This was the same dude who laughed when you said, hey, is it okay if I start talking to your ex? And now he's coming to your house going, hey, what's up, bro? How you been? I got her back. He says, she started to contact me on Facebook telling me she wants to be friends, and I said, sorry, I don't want to be just friends. I have enough friends, etc. Nice job. I worked out on Tuesday so I could just avoid her, and wouldn't you know, she started to go with my sister to my friend's house to, quote, hang out. Or to watch me work out. Maybe this Corey guy really knows his shit. She then dumped her man and started dating another guy. Rebound, he says. Bringing him around, so I started completely ignoring her to the point when I got home and I saw her car in my house, I didn't even go in my house unless I had to. He says, yes, I was so pissed that she was bringing these guys around, but I had to keep my cool and ignore her completely. I continued to move on in my life, and I just stayed in no contact. I found a house, and I'm planning to move out in a month. He says, I'm just improving my life like Coach Corey told me to. She became single. What a surprise, he says. But I didn't know she did because I detached myself from Facebook because I will admit I hated seeing her with these guys who were less deserving, and I was busy moving out anyway. She would come over, bump into me for no reason, call me sexy, etc. When she would come around, I would do little tests. For example, when she would sit next to me, I would get up for some BS reason and sit farther away and watch her come over and sit near me again. Funny how that works. He's like a magnet. They can't help themselves. He says, I even did this when she was dating other guys, and I noticed it. And I even knew she was with this other guy, and her attraction for me was growing. He says, what's this about girls being more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear? Where have I heard that before? I don't know. I think I've heard that too. He says, number 3, this is after over 4 months of using your knowledge. She then started to text me, I miss you. I made a mistake. I want you back, etc. Ding, ding. We have a winner. I knew now is when I had to really stand my ground. I told her, don't blame yourself for wanting your family back. Or I don't blame you for wanting your family back. And I don't blame you for dumping me when I was smothering you like a fat kid on cake. I told her I didn't want to hang out with my friends and that I wanted one-on-one time. She kept coming around, but she would ask me to go on walks with her, and we just talked and kissed when others weren't around. I told her I was just hanging at my friend's house and she was coming over every day, and one day I sat in my house and played video games while I knew she was up the street. She would text me, come here, but I said I didn't want to. Didn't want to hang out there, and she said, I'm going to leave, and I said, bye, have a wonderful night, beautiful. She apologized the next day, and I set up a bowling date one night, but I didn't tell her what we were doing. I said, dress nice, but be ready, active, sneakers, hair tie, etc. She texted me a few times after that, but I kept it short, ending in, I gotta go, but I can't wait to see you Friday. Good job. He says, one day she said I may not be able to make it, which I thought was a test, and I said, okay, that I have backup plans. He says, I had other plans on Friday to have a sleepover with my stepbrother and my friend and 5 other girls. Her Friday became free. He says, who saw that coming? Ha ha ha. Because you were willing to happily go do something else. You didn't give a fuck. You'd love to see her, but hey, you got to do something else, then sorry about your luck. He says, it was eating her alive to the point that she tried to get my sister to find out what we were doing, and she told me that she had so much fun, which you don't hear her say often. She even said, I get paid in the first so we can do something then. We went back to my house, and she said she could sleep over, which she said I didn't know, which quickly became a yes. Then she said, I'm not having sex with you. Oh, when a woman says, I'm not going to fuck you, I'm not having sex with you, it means I am going to fuck you, and I'm going to have sex with you as long as you don't talk me out of it. Which then I said, okay, and started to make out with her. I can't have sex, she said. I have my period. And I said, baby, it's not like I haven't gotten a Red Wings before. Bang, bang, and she spent the night. I walked her out the next morning. Was she walking like a duck, bro? And she can't stop texting me now. Yesterday I called to see how she was doing because she had surgery on her face, and this was the first time I made first contact. Well, that's an acceptable reason, because she had surgery, or she popped out a kid of yours, or she was in the hospital. Since we started talking, and I made a joke about her nose, and she got in a pissy mood, and she hung up, and I didn't try to contact her at all. This morning, she see, she's a little grumpy, a little nasty, and she hangs up on you, and what do? Nothing. Because that was fucking rude. This morning she texted me, I'm sorry for hanging up on you last night, and she told me she's coming down to see me, which I said, are you sure you're feeling up to it? And she answered, yeah, I'm good. I have to tell you something. Maybe she's going to come over and say, I want you deep inside me again, big boy. He says, thanks, Corey, for everything, because I would not be here if it wasn't for you. And once I get a chance, I will make a donation. Well, for those of you who'd like to make a donation, you go to my website on the right-hand column. There's donation. You can make monthly donations, recurring donations, or a one-time donation. They're always appreciated. Whatever you think it's valuable. Whatever you think my work is worth to you. He says, you're the man. Keep doing what you're doing because you are so on point, and I love that shit. You're not doing this just for yourself. I can tell you truly care about helping others, and I think that's amazing. Keep rocking it, man. You're the best. Well, thank you. Thanks for applying this stuff, because now we have another guy in the world who acts like a fucking man is supposed to act, instead of a big, giant, gushy fucking wussy. So let's get into the second email, and this is from a cool lesbian girl. She said, hey, Corey, I just wanted to say you are awesome. Believe it or not, this stuff can apply to lesbian relationships that have a masculine identified and a feminine woman involved. It's all about polarity. Even in lesbian relationships, gay relationships, there's always one of them that's more feminine and another one that's more masculine. Always, always, always. That's where the polarity comes from. That's where what draws two people to one another. Obviously, in heterosexual relationships, a very feminine woman is going to be drawn to a very masculine man. And she says, after listening to your videos, it made me realize everything I did wrong. I was the nice guy, needy, insecure, pleaser, etc. It also brought to light as to why I would hear feminine lesbians just say, studs act more feminine than they do. As a lot of us do what you say, not in your book and the videos. I'm currently reading your book and listening to your videos. I just wanted to write and say, you rock, thank you for helping me. I'm still new to this, but I already feel a change and a new mindset emerging in dealing with women. Awesome, good for you. I coach a lot of lesbians, by the way. Lesbians are cool as fuck. Because they love women just like I do. It's like, hey. It's just like talking to another dude, but in a woman's body. She says, I was so clueless despite being a woman myself. I found myself relating to a lot of these guys writing in. She says, anyways, thank you, and maybe I will write a success story. Off to become a stud, so to speak. Awesome. Good for you. Thank you for sharing. And for those of you watching, if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.